Hunter and Brittany here again with 10 questions to ask your property manager before hiring them. So one of the very most important things obviously is finding a great tenant for your property. Every property manager should have a plan in place to obtain the best tenants for you and your property. So Hunter, how does the application process work for finding a tenant with Marchant Property Management?
Well, first of all, you're exactly right. The very most important part of property management is picking the right tenant. And let me tell you, there's some bad people out there that know how to scam and scam their way into properties from owners that don't know how to do this, how to screen prospects. So the first thing we do is we want to know who's going to be there. So we make sure everyone that's 18 years and older, that they go through our full application process. So we're going to screen each one of them individually, so you kind of know everybody that's going to be there. Secondly, we want to make sure they can pay for the property, right, or pay the rent. So we make sure that their income is at least 3 times the monthly rent. And then third, we're going to do a very extensive background check on the prospects.
And what would the extensive background check include?
Well, it's actually a lot of stuff. We're going to check their credit for sure. We're going to check their criminal history. We're going to check the sex offender registry. We're certainly going to check to make sure they have never been evicted before. And then also, we're going to do some rental verifications, which honestly is the most important thing about, checking a tenant out is we're going to talk to all their landlords, the previous landlords, and we're going to see what kind of tenant they've been. We want to see how they've paid. We want to make sure they're taking care of the property. We certainly don't want to rent to anyone that's left the property damaged or destroyed, that's owed a landlord a balance of any kind, or certainly not evicted either.
Okay, and what about when someone's bringing a pet along with them? How do you go about, making sure that this pet should even live at the property?
Well, that's a great question, because first and foremost, I'll tell you that 70% of potential applicants have a pet of some kind. So if you don't allow pets, you can eliminate 70% of potential applicants. So that's kind of a staggering statistic these days. So, most of our owners do accept pets, and what's really cool is we've come up with this new program. We didn't come up with the program, but we're using a program it's called pet screening, where it's actually like an application for the pet. So they put the pet through the ringer. They verify all the vet records. They make sure all the shots are up to date. They do kind of like a background check on the pet, to make sure there's not been any bites or anything in the past. So that is a really cool feature that kind of gives our owners and us peace of mind that we're not getting Cujo in there.
Yeah.
And just to elaborate on that a little bit, is we don't rent to any pets that are on the dangerous breeds list. Some of those would include pit bulls, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, Dobermans. And I think there's about 10 or 12 of those that we exclude from renting to.
Okay. So just make sure whenever you're hiring a property manager that you find out their application screening process. And just some important things that we do are, pre-qualifying the tenant, doing an extensive background check, and making sure that their animal can live there as well, a kind of application on the animal too.